Welcome to the Site Cabin Podcast, episode 12. Yeah. Episode 12. That was easily said than episode 11 last month. I was like, 11.
Struggled with 11.
I did struggle with 11.
Yeah.
12 rolls off the tongue more. And it's obviously season 2. Season 2, episode 2, but we went with 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Still not sure.
You're still not sure?
No, because I like a series, I like a series to end and then go one again.
Yeah, I think we've just gone. I think we're gonna stick with it because of hashtags and sort of things like that. There's something wobbling. What's what? Oh, it's that core. It's the core thing. Just move the cup over a little bit. No, I think it's the drill head. It's the drill head. It's the drill head. Definitely, yeah. That's it. That's the one. Keep that in. It's real, isn't it? Yeah. We've got Jack joining us today. Hello. Welcome, Jack. Thank you very much for joining us. You were in the audience during our Christmas episode.
During the live.
So actually, the guy that said, was it filmed in an old people's home? No, it wasn't, because Jack's only a young pup.
I was here, so I'm the proof.
Yeah, Jack's proof.
What did you think of the Christmas special?
I liked it. I think it was that was a really good idea. Especially as a series ender.
Yeah.
Time of year.
I mean, there were old people there.
There was a lot of old people there. Yeah. In parts, it did look like the cast of Cocoon.
Yeah. It's still one of the best comments we've had today.
Yeah, it's probably the greatest comment we've ever had.
Steve Guttenberg.
Yeah. Steve Guttenberg. Maybe we should ask Steve Guttenberg to come on the show.
Yeah.
Is he available?
Does anybody? Probably our audience don't even know who Steve Guttenberg is, but basically he was in Police Academy and the lead role in.
Was that him?
Yeah, that was Steve Guttenberg. Yeah.
Oh yeah, love those.
Steve Guttenberg, Police Academy, Cocoon, and can't think of anything else. That's about it. Yeah, I'm sure he's done other films.
Done some classic.
I never thought we'd be talking about Steve Guttenberg, but we are. So Jack, welcome to the podcast. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks,
bringing your 24-year-old opinion onto the show, which is much needed. You're the youngest ever guest so far that we've had on the show. Yeah. So thank you. Welcome. We'll obviously get to you soon and get to sort of just feel free to chip in whatever you want, whatever you do. I mean, we might as well talk about it now. No, you're not.
I'll say straight away. I'm not in construction. I've worked in an office the whole time. I spent 1 month in a warehouse.
Definitely.
Feel his hands, check his hands.
Very soft.
So Jack's non-construction.
Yeah.
And as everyone knows on the Site Cabin podcast, we like to have that non-construction individual to kind of.
Well, I've had most family members work in construction, so I've been around it my whole life, and I've laboured on sites a week or 2 weeks.
Yeah,
when I was
fair
younger.
enough.
So I've been around it a bit. I'm not trained or anything.
Yeah,
I'm an office.
Your
younger brother's in it.
Yes. Yeah.
So he's an apprentice. Isn't he? Well, he's not. He's not an apprentice. He's come out of his time now.
Yeah. Well, he's a qualified. He's a fully qualified bricklayer. Level 2, level 3, whatever it is.
Do you ever get any grief, or is there ever any banter between the two of you regarding kind of? I'm an office boy.
Yeah, I've done it. Yeah.
I'm a construction boy.
You know.
You haven't got a clue. You don't know what it's like. Ever anything like that, or is it?
No, not too much. I think he does. He does take pride in that.
Rightly so.
Yeah. That dirt under the finger. Thing. But fair enough. Yeah. And he's good at it as well.
It's a funny thing, isn't it? Because construction individuals, I think they do kind of take massive pride on the fact that they work with their hands and obviously the brains, but they work, they get dirty and they get kind of full of muck.
Masculine.
It is a very masculine. Yeah, it is. And that's not to say that working in an office isn't. There's far more people in the UK, well, in the world that work in offices than work in construction.
Yeah.
I think it's only 2.1 million people work in construction in the UK, around 2.1 million people.
That's crazy.
So, and that's not just tradespeople. That's the whole wider. Well, maybe 3 million wider. But it is a quirky,
it's like earning your rights type thing, isn't it? In construction,
kind of.
But then again, I suppose in offices there'll be banter. There'll be office banter.
It's a strange thing because on sites, and I've not spent loads of times on sites, but because it is very masculine. And just in general, because you're in that type of environment, there isn't. I guess there would be a line, but there isn't really much. You can almost say anything to anyone. You can joke about something with someone.
Yeah.
or dig in, banter with someone.
Yeah.
To sort of anyway, and you all just bounce off of each other.
Yeah.
But in offices, it's strange because there is a line, but you
Yeah.
never really know where it is.
It's a good point.
That is a
Yeah.
good point,
It's a
because
really good point, that.
If you're in a very male-dominated office, it might be quite similar to a site. But if there's a lot of, if there's a 17-year-old
Yeah.
girl, woman apprentice,
Yeah.
you're gonna you do, depending on who's around you.
Yeah, you absolutely do. And
You've got the boss of the company walking in, or something. Yeah.
And to flip it on its head as well, if it's a very female-dominated environment,
Which I've been in.
ladies and gents and everything, but they can be as brutal as a group of guys if they wanted to be in terms of banter or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a strange quirk that somebody
Dynamics.
in construction that's really deep in construction kind of would look upon an office individual as they work in office, they haven't got a clue. They haven't got a clue about my life and what I do for a living.
But then likewise, I've never really worked in an office. A little bit now and again, but not. I wouldn't say what a traditional office environment is, but people have their own stresses and their own environments in an office. You can't escape in an office. In a building site, you can escape.
Absolutely,
You can walk off for a minute.
Yeah.
You can go into an empty plot, fall asleep for an hour.
Empty plot, fall asleep for an hour.
Yeah.
Wrap yourself up in some insulation and have a nice little sleep in the van.
Whereas an office, there's nowhere to hide.
I mean, where would you rather have a hangover? On a building site or in an office? Building site, 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
I've had an office hangover.
Oh, I mean, there's nowhere to go but your desk, I presume.
No, yeah.
And you've got Janice in accounts, kind of, asking questions about this and that.
Why has that not been done?
And Peter in HR kind of phoning up about whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas in an office, you can kind of dissipate. In a site, you can. Well, I've done it, and I've said to people, go and have a sleep in the van.
Yeah,
you fit for nothing today. Yeah. Go and get your head down for an hour in the back of the van or whatever.
But there is a big variety, because some offices can be quite, the managers and stuff can be quite, I don't know about lax with it, but understanding.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Oh yeah.
I'll just go and work.
Go and work from home
for the rest of the day. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Do you think that's been brought in more since COVID though?
It's strange. Since I first started in an office in 2017, and since I've started, the way, even in just that short 6 years, the change has been massive.
Yeah.
The first office I worked at, it was shirt and tie every single day.
Yeah.
And you could dress down on the last Friday of the month. You could wear jeans, trainers,
jumper,
and then about a year later after that, it became every Friday.
Yeah.
You could dress down, and then slowly it became
every day,
just every day.
Yeah,
and now I
unless you're public facing.
Well, if there's big manager in or something, wear a shirt.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
One of our other viewers, he works in an office, and if they used to wear brown shoes, they used to kick them out.
Crazy.
Well, so there's like a dress code.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, actually, a lot of officers do have a dress code.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm sure
to a certain extent.
Like a nice pair of brown brogues, or what's the other one?
Yeah.
Oxfords or something.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't allow
nice,
brown
Stanley.
shoes.
Good memory there.
No.
Yeah. Brogues or Oxfords.
That's Kingsman.
Yeah, the film The Kingsman. Yeah.
That's the only way I know it.
Yeah. So one's got detail on the shoe, one hasn't.
Smooth,
So is it brogues that are...
Brogues have got detail.
Brogues have the detail, and Oxfords are just a plain
smooth,
shoe. Yeah, there you go, guys and girls. A bit of shoe etiquette.
I've got a lot of fashion going on.
Yeah, I've noticed actually. You've got for our listeners. He's got
a watch.
He's got a white
Apple.
He's got an
Apple.
Apple.
Do you reckon Apple? I don't know who the CEO is.
Tim Cook.
Tim Cook.
Do you reckon he's watching?
You never know. You never know.
Hey, well, we're advertising. They own by Apple.
So do you know what they are? What's that one?
Facebook.
Yes.
Only just found out what that
That's
is.
Instagram. TikTok.
Talk about that later.
Yeah.
Twitter.
So for our listeners, Danny's pointing at the posters.
Not on that. Love that.
Loves TikTok. You're a TikToker now, aren't you?
Rubbish.
Yeah, you're a talker.
Yeah.
You're a TikToker. But yeah, going back to your watch. So love it. Apple smartwatch.
Great.
Not feeling the white strap.
No.
But each to their own.
It's going to get dirty. I mean,
In construction. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Someone's just showed us
our producer has a nice nifty little cover with his.
Cover. I've just seen that.
Yeah, I think we should maybe get one.
Get that off him.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Or we maybe just buy one, Danny.
Yeah.
So anyway, we sort of digressed there for 10 minutes, but it doesn't matter. It's fine. It's what the pod's all about.
Absolutely.
What have you been up to since the last pod, Dan?
Been away.
Where'd you go?
Went to Portugal.
You're the most travelled man I think I've ever.
Portugal. Went to Albufeira. Played a bit of golf.
Played a bit of golf in Albufeira.
Again, hugely impressed with Portugal every time I go.
Yeah.
And when I go to Portugal, always doing something. They're always working on something. They're always developing. Every time you go to Albufeira, Sombras, you go to Villamora, there are always new roads being put in.
But don't you think, like for example, where we are now, Manchester, look at all the cranes in Manchester at the moment. Look how much work's going on.
There's always road work.
I think when you go abroad and you start looking at something, you kind of look at things in a different light. You think, wow,
But I just think...
Are the Portuguese builders as good as the UK builders?
No, but I was watching while I was away on Friday. We were stuck in traffic because there was this big motorbike event in Albufeira. Apparently, it's quite famous. I've never heard of it. They were laying the road. Now here we just shovel our tarmac down, don't we?
Yeah.
Right there, they were putting individual cobbles down, and I was
I know what you mean, like the detail.
They just do it really well.
Yeah,
and put fountains through the middle of this main road.
Nice.
That won't happen here.
Yeah,
it's not all just tarmac.
You go to Madrid. I went to Madrid in October. And the famous fountains where the Madrid fans celebrate.
Yeah,
and that would where you get Piccadilly Gardens. There's piss everywhere.
I know what you mean. And a few homeless people.
Yeah, everyone's on bloody what's it called?
Spice. Yeah, they're all spiced up, aren't they?
We don't have that place.
Yeah,
maybe Trafalgar Square.
It's just a different type of culture, isn't it? As well.
Yeah.
We're kind of still stuck. Maybe I don't know if we ever will move out of it, but kind of stuck in that lad and ladette type scenario. You go out, get smashed and smash the bus shelter up.
Oh, I hate people who smash bus shelters.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, obviously, the guy whose job it is to repair them bus shelters,
he's
got a job for life.
Oh, he's coining it in.
Or she, they've got a job for life.
Or them.
Yeah, you're right, Dan. She, he, or them. You're absolutely... Danny, I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed. You're such a modern man. We cover all the LGBTQ complete community here, don't we, at the Sightcam podcast? And Danny has just proved that by you're not you're not
it's pronoun knowledge.
It's pronoun knowledge.
I don't really get it, but
well, you're allowed. The thing is, you're allowed not to get it.
I don't understand it.
You're allowed not to understand it as well. You're allowed not to understand it. That's fine. Stop it.
You're going to cut in this bit.
No, we won't. No, no, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. We've not said anything wrong.
Leave it in. But it might get a lot of views.
No, we've not. Listen, we've not said anything wrong. We've not upset anybody, and we certainly don't wish to upset any particular community.
No.
Sightcam podcast welcomes all, don't we? We welcome everybody, all faiths, all religions, all sexualities,
definitely,
all colours, all creeds. Oh my God. All protected characteristics we welcome.
Definitely.
I think I just pulled it back there. I saved Daniel from. Can you imagine? Anyway, let's not go there. Let's just not go there. Let's just not go there. Jack, I know I can't ask you what you've been up to, but have you got anything planned? You out going away?
Well, speaking of going away, I've not been away yet, but I am going away.
Where are you going?
Right there, Rio.
You're going to Rio.
Next week. Yeah.
Next week you go to Rio.
Is it next week you go?
Yes.
Wow.
You have to take something.
So maybe take the hat.
Yeah.
Our producer Solomon, I know you won't mind me saying, took some amazing pictures of the hat. It's been to Rio once already, believe it or not. That hat.
Maybe a shirt. Should we give me some shirts?
Well, maybe not the hoodie because it'd be too warm. But you mean like the polo shirts?
Yeah.
Maybe either take the hat or take a shirt. Yeah. Get some pictures, maybe if you win it, and what's the plan? Where are you going to go? Are you sure? You're not sure?
Rio. Well, we're staying right on the front of Copacabana, right on the front of the beach.
Beautiful,
right there. And
so you've definitely got to make sure that you take a football and do some keepy ups. On the beach.
I think it'd be hard finding a football there. Yeah. But
are you going to go Christ Redeemer statue and
Christ the Redeemer? Yeah. I mean, I guess it must be mentally busy around.
Yeah.
that
Yeah, you
every
got to
day.
go.
But I think we said.
I think it dominates the whole skyline of where you are, though.
Yeah,
doesn't
well,
it?
it's
So
up high. Yeah.
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 And then what? Forgive me. What's the stadium called?
Maracana.
Maracana.
Yeah. Are you gonna go watch a match?
I don't know if there's. I don't know if
Well,
I've not really looked into
season's
today's back, but
last,
you can
yeah.
definitely take a tour.
Yeah.
Of the stadium, so I'd love to do
You
that.
got to go.
Oh
Well,
wow.
It's there, Wembley.
And the
Yeah.
favela,
Yeah.
the favelas, should I say? Go
Yeah.
and tour around there.
Well, there's all sorts of guides you can take. Apparently, I should say my cousins went last year.
Yeah.
And they went, and they said they said it was dead safe.
Oh,
They went all
amazing.
around and stuff. The football pitches
yeah,
they've
big.
built on
Oh,
the
well,
top
make
of
sure
them
you
and all that.
take care, obviously, and make sure.
They love the tourists, don't they? They love tourists.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
they like the Apple phones and things like that off the
Yeah.
tourists. Yeah. Sorry, I don't want to kind of say, you know, I mean, Brazil, obviously an unbelievable country and sort of amazing kind of tourist. But you know, they always.
It was like fucking Brinny.
But I was just going to say, you're absolutely right. If
Yeah.
you are right. You are right. I shouldn't have said that.
Everyone's got a
Yeah.
rough area.
You're right.
right?
You're
You
right.
know,
You're
Brinny,
right. You're right.
Yeah.
Offerton.
Yeah,
Um,
you wouldn't walk around the middle of Manchester like because someone's going to grab your phone off you, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Some little
Every
some little
country's-
dickhead on a moped or
Every
something.
country. Pelt from Portugal. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's the lowest crime rate in the world? I think
no,
it was
it's
Qatar.
Saudi-
Was it
Saudi
Qatar?
Arabia. No,
Yeah.
it's Qatar.
I think it was Qatar.
Somewhere
Yeah,
small,
it was.
isn't
Yeah.
it?
Surprisingly,
Yeah.
you get your fucking head cut off. aren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
Your hands.
Yeah.
Quite right. Quite right too.
So-
Cut their heads off.
Yeah.
If they rob the tools out your van, they should have their hands
Yeah.
cut
no,
off.
it is Qatar. We did it at the World Cup.
Yeah, we
episode.
did. We did do it at the World Cup.
When we said safest place, it was like lowest crime.
Lowest crime. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so sort of today's episode, subject wise, a few bits and bats going on. We're going to talk today about CSCS cards. So, first of all, what is a CSCS card? And I'm asking that myself. So, CSCS stands for Construction Skills Certificate Scheme.
Right.
Okay, it's a card for the construction industry that details the level of qualification and level of training that individual has had in the construction in a construction environment. So in other words, it's your proof of qualification and that you are suitably health and safety trained to work in a sort of safe manner, basically. It's been out since February 1995.
Has it?
Yeah,
Oh, I thought it was a
so
bit later than that.
It's
No.
almost 30 years.
yeah, so
Jesus.
yeah, you're right. It's
Yeah,
30,
yeah,
coming up to
so-
I
30
thought it was
years.
a really recent thing.
Yeah,
I thought it was in the notice.
no,
Yeah.
it's been around since February 1995.
Okay. Right.
I was the 96,330th person to get a CSCS card in the UK. Big up, big up,
Is that your number?
big up. Yeah, that's
Nice.
basically.
Is that true?
Yeah, that is true. That is honestly true. That is
So
honestly
you're in
true.
the top 100.
Top
Thousands.
100,000. Yeah, top 100,000, mate.
I wonder who's got number one.
That would be amazing.
If anyone is watching or listening to the show now, if you've got like the number one CSCS card, that would be an amazing thing to comment, or even in the top 100.
Who's got like Bond's number? Like
007.
00007.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or would it just be 7? But yeah, it would be 007, wouldn't it?
007.
So actually, that's a really good suggestion. If anyone's got a really cool CSCS card number that they can share with us going forward, that would be great. But yeah, so I've got that. So, and I will open it up to you guys in a minute. But feel free to question me on stuff. There are 12 different types of CSCS card. Let's get the 12 up. I'll have a look.
Do you mean like the colours here?
So don't just mean the colours, no. I mean the actual different types of... Sorry, it's on my phone. And my phone, for some reason, has decided to... Oh, my God, my phone is actually... Oh, no, there we go. It's woken up. So the 12 different types of card for CSCS... coming up. We've got a labourer's green card.
Yeah.
So if you're a labourer, you can apply to get a CSCS green card. And I should say, actually, before I continue this, to be eligible for a CSCS card in construction, you have to have also done a qualification. So you can't just say, I'm going to work in construction, I want a CSCS card.
You have to have done a...
You have to have done something or be working towards a qualification to be able to get the CSCS card. So you've got a labourer's green CSCS card, which needs a health and safety level 1 qualification. Okay. You've got an apprentice's red card. So again, you're an apprentice, you've not got a qualification, but you're an official apprentice. You signed up to a qualification so you can get a red card. There is an experienced technical supervisor or management red CSCS card. Experienced worker red CSCS card. Red trainee red CSCS card. Skilled worker blue CSCS card, which means you've got to have a level 2 MVQ.
So would you say that's one of the most common?
Probably one of the most common.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll open it up and explore it again in a minute. So that's the blue one. You've got the gold CSCS card. Thank you very much.
I have got one. Actually.
Danny's got one, but he's left it in the car and he can't be bothered going down the stairs for it. But mine's there as proof. You've got a gold supervisory CSCS card.
Yeah.
And you've got a very popular one, which is the black manager's card, which you can. So the gold one you can only get if you've got a level 3 qualification. The black one you can only get if you've got a level 6 qualification. It used to be a level 4, I think, and it's now risen to a level 6.
Wasn't there a white card as well?
And you've got an academically qualified person, which is an AQP CSCS card. So in other words, you're in construction, you've not got a technical qualification, if you like. It's in like a trades qualification, but you might have something like a HND, HNC.
Like a degree level.
CIOB, NEBOSH, you've also got a professionally qualified, another PQP CSCS card. I'm nearly getting to the end if anyone's sick of this. Which again is, if you're a member of a CSCS approved professional body. And then lastly, I think you've got a red CSCS provisional card. So 12 different types of CSCS cards. I think there's been a lot of controversy about CSCS cards in the industry. And a lot of people don't like them. A lot of people think it's a money-making scheme.
Can see why. I'll be honest, until yesterday, I thought it was a government-backed scheme.
Yeah, so it's not a government-backed scheme. So it is... it's holding a CSCS card is not a legislative requirement. So it's not law. You don't have to have... Legally, you don't have to have a CSCS card. But what we do have is the majority now, not all, but the majority of the national house builders and most of the building associations, they have put into their own policies and procedures that all of their members, in other words, their workers, their employees, have to have a CSCS card to work on their sites.
To be honest, I was on a site this morning and I had to do an induction. For once, it was on my phone. That was good.
All right, that's pretty cool.
You got a QR code, scanned it, bang, and you have to watch these videos, ask some questions.
Just on your phone?
And then you have to input all your CSCS card details.
Yeah.
And I thought the induction was great. I won't name the company because I've got to go back.
But, fine.
I thought theirs was really good how they did it.
What? Because the induction was just on the phone?
On the phone. You scanned it, and then you wanted all your CSCS details.
That's well cool.
Yeah, it was good. And then there's no messing about it. He said, no, you can just watch it while you're working. So it was a bit more interactive.
Yeah. So you've got this site accreditation thing. So you've got 12 different CSCS cards. Now, obviously, in the construction industry, you've got loads of individuals who haven't got a qualification. But I've still been working. I've started working in construction with my dad, my uncle, my brother, my sister, whatever, a family member, the neighbour. So they've been taught by people, so they know what they're doing. They know how to do the job, but they haven't got that accredited qualification to then enable them to go and get the card.
It's loads though, because I was actually talking to someone today. He was in his 50s, and he was his late 50s, early 60s, and his grandson is working with him. But his grandson's been with him since he was 16. He's now 21, so he's done 5 years.
Yeah,
no paperwork, right. I was watching him. He was fitting doors, frames, architraves, right, and I was watching him thinking, he's a joiner. Yeah,
he's a joiner.
He's a decent joiner as well. Yeah. He's still probably stuff he hasn't done.
But he's not got a qual.
He's not got a qual because he's never been to college and he's never done another OSAT. And we were talking about CSCS cards, and his was red.
Yeah. So the trouble with the red cards is if you've got the trainee card or the apprenticeship card, they run out, they expire.
Yeah.
because there's a time limit set to them. Sorry, I should say all CSCS cards run out.
There's only 5 years.
5 years. But if you've got the qualification, you just renew the card. And that means you just go back, take the health and safety touchscreen test, pass that, and you renew the card. Yeah. If you've got the red one, you can't apply again for a red card because you're supposed to have completed your apprenticeship or your trainee or whatever it is, the qualification that you signed up to do. So you can't. You might think, great, I've got a CSS card, I'm okay for a couple of years now with the red one, but no, unfortunately not. And interestingly as well, there used to be another CSCS card, and it was called. It was for what's called grandfather rights.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of these.
Yeah. But they've just expired, and you can't now renew your CSCS card for grandfather rights. So say you've got an individual who is, as you've just said, really qualified in the construction industry, worked in it for 20, 30 years, got a CSCS card through grandfather rights. Once that card expires now, you cannot renew that card with CSCS. The only way for that individual to get a CSCS card going forward would be to sign up for an MVQ or a qualification, pass the qualification, and then to be eligible for the CSCS card.
So, what quals are they allowing now? CSCS.
Oh, so I mean, literally hundreds of qualifications. Yeah. You've got literally hundreds of qualifications that you can take to be eligible for a CSCS card. In simple terms, for the people probably watching our show and our fans, you've got the green card, which is the labourers. For that, you need to take a level 1 health and safety construction qualification. It's usually between like a 2 and 5 day qualification. You'll be able to get the green card at the end of that qual. You still need to take the touchscreen health and safety test. For trades individuals, it's either the level 2 MVQ, which will enable you to get the blue card, or a level 3 MVQ, which enables you to get the gold card. And I would say the majority of the people watching our show and our fans are probably after one of them 3 cards. Most tradespeople in the UK.
Just get outside in it, basically.
Well, yeah.
Because you don't need them domestically.
No, do you?
No one's going to ask them for it.
If you work on private houses, no one will ever ask you for your CSCS card because they'll do the homework with asking for reviews of what you like with your previous customers and things like that. That's how you...
I ran off.
I ran off. Yeah, he didn't finish the job and he legged it, yeah. Don't ever employ that Daniel ever again. No. He's a nightmare. But yeah, that's how it works with private customers. But with sites, and especially the bigger house builders and construction sites, they will ask for the CSCS card. It's not law, but that doesn't mean you can go to that company and say, I've not got one, but you can't make me have one. They can, because it's their site. It's their job. And if it's in that company's policy and procedures for their employers and subcontractors to have CSCS cards, they can enforce it. They absolutely can.
I see. I didn't know that. I thought it was a government thing that they didn't, but it's obviously not. So,
is there anything, Jack? I know it's not construction, but is there anything like any sort of scheme that in your world that you don't all have to sign up to say that you're qualified in?
Well, that's funny that because most companies I've been at usually have some sort of introductory course videos and stuff like you said, or courses you have to go through where it's like a questionnaire, a quiz or something where it's like, in this situation, what would you do? Blah blah blah. You report this thing to your manager. You blah blah. Or health and safety stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's interesting how working in an office is viewed as like, oh, that's so professional and so qualified and sort of stuff. And really,
good point.
There's no type of scheme like that.
Yeah.
There's no level 1, level 2. I mean,
it is a good point.
There's business. You take an apprenticeship in an office, but
it's a really good point.
It's a good point.
It's really. I mean, there is.
I'm sure there is some.
There is business admin apprenticeships. There are word processing qualifications. Of course, there are qualifications for.
Yeah, there's apprenticeships
and
stuff.
There's qualifications in.
But there's no requirement to prove that to work in an office necessarily.
It's just really something that goes on your CV then.
Yeah, it's actually that is another interesting point as well. Yeah. Couple of other things as well. So, the construct the CSCS card, it's quite a difficult card to fake now, but it still goes on. It still happens. It's quite rife in certain parts of the UK.
Well, I've got one for you.
Go on.
Right. So on that site today,
Where you were today, yeah.
When you put it on your phone and you link it in,
Yeah.
as soon as you put your number in,
Yeah.
it comes up.
Yeah.
Right. So
CSCS launched an app called the Smart Check app.
I think that's what it is.
And
then.
that's an app, and there's a website as well. And the app, you put the details of the card into that app, and it will immediately show anybody whether or not that card is genuine or not, and who that card is registered to.
That's what it did. Yeah.
So it immediately does that.
It was good. Yeah.
And it will also show what qualifications are on that card and attached to that card. And by the way, the card, the CSCS card, it's normally your highest qualification. So you could be a roofer or a wall and floor tiler, and you could have a level 2 MVQ and a level 3 MVQ. It would show your level 3 qualification. It shows your highest.
Shout out to the roofers.
Shout out to the roofers, yeah. Do it. Shout them out.
Good.
Didn't you get mentioned yesterday by one?
Recognised by a roofer who, funny enough, asked me at the end of his course with the course he was doing, will they be able to apply for CSCS?
There you go.
So,
there you go.
You know, it's obviously it's on a lot of people's minds.
So, a couple of other things about CSCS cards. So this is where you'll get a lot of people that will say it's a money making scheme. To get a CSCS card, right? You've got to have a qualification. And if you've not done that between the ages of 16 and sort of 24, it probably won't be a fully funded qualification. So you're going to have to pay for your qual. Okay, so that's one expense, if you have had to pay for it. If you're an apprentice and you've done it, funded, then you're okay. Secondly, you've got to pay for a touch screen test. Okay, that's £22.50 for every test. So every 5 years, you've got to pay £22.50 for a touchscreen test. I think it's 2.1 million or something around CSCS cards in the UK. So do the maths there. Every 5 years, that's coming back as a revenue. Jesus. You've also then got to pay £36 for the card itself. So every 5 years, as an individual, you've got to pay £36 for the card, and you've got to pay £22.50 for the ability to take the touchscreen test. And of course, if you fail the test, you've then got to retake it at another cost of £22.50. So that's where people will say, and I'm playing devil's advocate, and I just want to sort of state for the record, I think it's a good thing for the construction industry, the CSCS card. I think it's overall, gets control of the workforce in terms of the qualifications that are needed, and also for it brings the level up of health and safety knowledge within the construction industry.
But it's only right though when you look at it, compare it to like a gas save card.
Yeah.
Or the electricians have something, don't they?
Yeah, the electricians have something, and there's also
and the scaffolding is it PASMA?
PASMA, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, like you want to know it's been you trained properly.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong in asking that. There is also CSCS does not issue cards to workers in the plant sector. So they don't issue cards for any like JCB, your plant drivers. Instead, the CSCS is partnered with a number of different card schemes which provide their own skill certification scheme. These schemes are issued bearing the CSCS logo and are based on similar standards as the CSCS often require the card holder to gain a recognised qualification. So plant categories, there's loads of different plant categories. ALMI is one apparently, and CPCS is another one which you've probably all heard of. Similar thing, it's 5 years. So linked to construction, and CSCS kind of put their backing on it. Oh, there's MPAWS as well, which also do a card as well. So there's loads of kind of like affiliated schemes and different types of schemes. But people say, is a CSCS card a money making scheme?
Well, it seems strange that paying for it initially, the £22 for the test, the £36 to renew it.
Yeah.
I can understand that initially, but having to do that every 5 years.
But
now their argument
paying to renew
change.
the card.
Their argument, you're right. Their argument. So just to be clear on that, it's
having
not
to take the test, but
you don't have to. You don't have to retake the qualification once you've got your qualification. That's attached to the card. But to renew the card and the health and safety element of the card, you do have to renew every 5 years. So that's where I think sometimes there is some confusion because the people are like, do you have to do my MVQ again or whatever? No, you absolutely don't have to do your MVQ with a CSCS card. However, with gas safe and
is that every 2 years?
With electrical, well, I'm no doubt someone from
I know somebody who does. They have to go back to college, and he's in his 50s, and he's gas safe, and I'm sure it's every 2 or maybe 5 years.
Let's Google it. Let's Google it.
Dave, you know, like we don't have to go back to and do a joinery course or
no
a taster. They gas do.
Yeah,
they have to go back every so many years.
Okay, so it says here, you must arrange for your annual gas safety check to be carried out every 12 months by a gas safe. Oh no. That's talking about
checks on your house.
Checks on your house. Yeah, we need to just find out how long it take. How long is a gas safe qualification? Would you say? Gas safe qualification.
I'm sure they have to renew it every 2 years to 5 years. They have to go back to college.
Once you're gas safe registered, it lasts 12 months. So you'll need to renew 1 year from the date you're registered. All current fees and registration renewals are available on our website. I'm not going to shout out to people whose the website is. So, I mean, we're talking about CSCS cards today, but the electrical cards and the gas safe cards, different sort of requirements, different sort of rules attached.
But what I mean is, they're not. I don't think CSCS are asking for a lot.
No, I know what you mean. It's every 5 years.
It's every 5 years. You don't have to do your qualification and update your, your knowledge on joinery, brickwork, painting, and not the other trades. It's the health and safety. And to be fair, health and safety changes all the time. I saw something brand new on site today. I was like, I've never seen that system before.
Yeah, I know. So you can argue then that it is right. It is right to have the renewal of the CSCS test.
I think it's all right. I don't. For me, £58.50 every 5 years.
Yeah,
it's what? What's that? £11 something a year?
Yeah, it's nothing, is it? It's peanuts, isn't it?
How much do you spend on a pint?
Yeah, of course. They spend that in 2 seconds.
And also
on a fruit machine,
is for a
I know. Yeah,
it's not bad. It's not bad. I don't think at all. I think it's fine. It's not a money making scheme. It's just keeping the industry up here and keeping
it to a certain level, isn't it?
Fine.
The UK construction industry is keeping it to a certain,
it's just fine.
Agreed, certified level constantly and continually.
Yeah, it's fine.
So that we never kind of dip and we never.
Well, the first thing that happens when something goes wrong, right? How do we know? Right, so it's just a backup. It's just a backup of something. It's okay.
Electrical. Sorry, I've just looked as well. Electrical. They can get an ECS card for electricians, which is the Electrotechnical Certification Scheme card, which has similar requirements and similar levels of responsibility for renewal and whatnot to a CSCS card. Electrical workers do not need a CSCS card, but they do need an ECS card. The ECS card is the electrotechnical specific equivalent to a CSCS card. So, you've got these, the construction industry in the UK is quite well regulated now with CSCS cards. They've changed the world in terms of they're not just being like these unemployed these individuals that aren't perhaps qualified, but I do have a lot of sympathy with people that aren't qualified in the eyes of a certificate, but they've been doing it all their lives or whatever.
But that should start to phase out over the next 20 years.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, it should, because unfortunately we're going back to people in construction are still working in construction who were born in the 60s.
Yeah, very true.
So they're coming to the end of their careers.
Yeah.
Right, because they're 63.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
So they're coming. If you were born in 1960, you're 63 now. Yeah. You're coming to the end of your career.
Yeah, it's a
good
point.
As it goes along, the 70s, so 30s,
Yeah.
2030, 2040. And then this scheme brings in, everyone should be qualified. Now, you still get, like you said before,
anomalous.
And that, I love that. Families who've gone, no, don't go to college, just come and work with me.
Yeah.
I think that's fine. I'm happy with that. You learn so much doing that way as well. Like that young man who I met today. And that's absolutely fine. But I think you'll see the impact of this in 10, 20 years' time.
You continue to see it, and it probably continue to see it raise as well.
And raise the bar,
For
yeah.
a long term.
I mean, let's be honest, there's still people dying every day in construction.
Oh, yeah, every day.
I mean,
Yeah.
how many people die in an office?
On a daily basis. But due to the environment they're working in.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Not, I don't mean other mental health issues.
Yeah.
I mean purely because it's not safe.
Well, there's still
Accidents. How many people break their legs?
I
break
can't.
their arms
We
in
did
office?
this. We did this last season, and we'll do it again this season. But we talked about fatalities in construction, and I'm thinking it was about 40 a year in construction. Fatalities still to this day. I mean, there's 700 people a year die in construction due to it's basically due to suicide.
Yeah.
That still continues. That's probably the worst one. But in terms of fatalities due to their working environment and unrelated from finding your own way out, if you like, I think it's about 39, 40 died last year.
You shouldn't be going to work and dying because of the environment you're working in.
Yeah, you're right.
Do you ever go into the office and think, oh, that keyboard's going to kill me?
Jump up and fall off a
Or
shelf
if
and kill me.
I fall off my chair, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
Whereas somebody could be going to work, fall off a scaffold because it's not been put up right.
And
Or-
die.
And die.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or
That will happen. That will happen this year in the UK. That will happen
Yeah.
in construction.
Countless lives
so
affected,
really,
yeah.
is that such a bad thing? Because that's what it's trying to help.
It's trying to help that
Yeah.
get. Yeah, you're right. And I think it's right. I'm right in saying, I don't speak for you all, but it's right in saying the Site Cabin podcast, we back the CSCS card.
yeah.
We back the idea of it, and we kind of we understand it, and we totally agree with it.
I'm all right with it.
And we play devil's advocate in terms of, we want to talk about it. Why is it what for's?
Does it mean you're a perfect tradesperson? No, it doesn't.
No.
What it means is you've gone through some form of health and safety training and you've been questioned on it.
Yeah.
That's what it means.
That's exactly what it means.
It doesn't mean that because you've got a gold card, I'm the best brickie in the world or joiner.
Yeah,
I mean, I am, but
you are. But I do know what you mean. It's right. So it's not a competency-based qualification.
no, it's not that. It's
card
about
scheme.
health and safety.
It's about health and safety, isn't it? Yeah. So that was interesting. Thanks for
It's good.
a few little stats there on the qualification and stuff. We've still got about 20 minutes. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just looking at the running order of things to come. Danny, tools on the table. What have we got going on the table today?
Right. So we've had a lot of bank holidays, haven't we?
We've had a lot of
The
bank
king,
holidays.
the old kingy, got
Yeah, we've got a new king.
yeah, old sausage,
Old sausage fingers. Yeah,
Those bad
King
boys.
Charles.
King Charles.
Yeah, do we like King Charles? What do we think about King Charles?
Yeah, he's all right.
I don't mind him.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of stick.
We loved his mum.
We loved it.
Didn't we?
Oh, we loved the
Did we?
Everyone loved the Queen.
Yeah.
And
Do
is
the
it-
construction industry like the royal family?
Great question.
Do they or don't they?
Bet they love the fucking bank holidays.
Yeah, we love the extra bank holiday.
So everyone loved the bank
Yeah.
holidays.
Although saying that, did they?
I'm not. He's not my king. He's not. You're off though.
You're
aren't
off.
you?
How come
Taking the day off, though,
you're
aren't
off
you?
chilling in bed watching it
Yeah,
then?
we're all taking the day off.
Actually, I think there was a lot of construction sites remained open.
They did
for the
Yeah,
king's
they did.
coronation.
They did.
Yeah.
But it's the coronation.
Sorry,
It was
the
a Saturday, wasn't it?
yeah,
So
but
it
the
was
bank
Monday,
holiday.
bank
There was an
holiday
extra bank holiday.
celebration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had it off.
I had it off as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you, Jack? Was you off? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it. I think it was good. I think it's.
Yeah. Here's a question for you then. What trade would King Charles do
Ooh,
if he
that's
was
a
a
great
tradesman?
Well,
What?
he does have his
Bit of gardening, doesn't he?
He loves a garden.
but he does have his school, doesn't he? Like that.
Oh.
Masonry.
The Prince of
Princess Truss.
Princess Truss.
Wasn't that his dad?
But there's one he did because he goes on all the time about architecture, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He loves
Speaking
gardening. He
speaking
loves it.
of our area of Stockport,
Yeah.
the cinema here won the award
For the worst
design.
Yeah.
Called the Carbuncle Award.
That's it. The Carbuncle.
Named
We mentioned
which
it on
he
last.
coined.
We mentioned
Yeah.
it in last season, and the
Yeah.
cinema did win the award for
Did
the
it?
worst designed building
the year.
in the
Yeah.
year. Just going back to Prince Charles, and we will carry on with that. What trade would he be? Do you think? What would Prince Charles be?
He would definitely do it. He definitely do something.
But what though?
With those bad boys.
With them big fat sausage fingers.
Yeah, he's got to do it. Yeah.
Can anyone do the Prince Charles? Dan?
I'll tell you when he signed to be king, and he went,
Hey, where the bloody hell? Where the bloody hell's my pen?
Yeah, get the bloody pen
bloody
away.
pen.
I don't even know what a Ouija board is.
I don't even know what a Ouija board is.
I mean, he's all right. He's just a character.
Come on, let's pick a trade for Charles.
I mean, Bricky?
Do you
I think
reckon?
he could. I think he would. He's very into it.
Do you reckon? I don't think he's tough enough to be a bricklayer.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, okay.
He has his
Right, Jack,
interest, yeah.
trade. You name a trade for Prince Charles.
I don't know. I don't know by name, but like, you know, if you look, because I know he's very into. You know, when you look at old,
so like a stonemason.
Stonemason.
Yeah, like an
That's
original.
what he would do.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
That's
he's
what he
not
would
going
do.
to be an electrician because those hands ain't getting in little.
No,
wires
he
and
can't.
plumbers.
He can't get the wires into the little tiny
He's not
holes.
going to be a plumber. He's got
No.
no finesse in those hands to be a painter.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he does oil colours.
Yeah, something else.
Prince Charles Bricklaying Limited. All jobs undertaken.
Bricky.
Garden walls.
Plasterer.
Plasterer.
Didn't he?
No, I don't think he's got the elbows
Didn't
for
he
it.
build his own? There's Poundbury. There's that town he built in in Cornwall.
Yeah, but did he build? He did build it.
Yeah,
Didn't he? I mean,
but
he
like
would have
I'm sure he would have, designing it, but it is his.
he would have paid, wouldn't
Yeah.
he, for bloody bricklayers.
I think it is just like a load of new builds and
Yeah.
stuff. But like,
So
he is.
Every
Yeah,
house is a different colour, isn't it?
there's something.
It's in
It's
that-
no,
Yeah.
hang on, is that not Balamore?
Probably is, but it's in that.
That's
It's on
what he built.
Netflix,
What's
isn't
the
it?
story, Balamore?
I've only seen bits of it. Yeah,
Right, so we're saying stonemason.
that's
Yeah, it's not
absolutely.
bad.
Okay, so we're gonna obviously
Because if he misses his bolster and it's his hands, he's got a bit of cushion.
yeah, good shout. So
Yeah.
we think King Charles the
Stonemason.
sixth,
Third.
Th-
King Charles
King,
III.
King Charles III. I was thinking
Yeah.
King George. So you're absolutely
Yeah.
right. We think King Charles III, if he was in the construction trade, would be a bricklayer. Just before we move on, what would Queen Camilla's normal person's job be? What would she be?
So, we're talking stonemason.
She's
and
married to a
wife.
stonemason.
Good
What's she going to be?
I think Camilla would be.
I don't think
She'd run like
she'd
have her
run.
own business or something.
Yeah, she'd
Run a salon. Something
Salon.
Like that. Yeah. Camilla's.
Camilla's.
It makes sense. It
Come to
fits.
Camilla. We do
Or
nails.
She's running out of her
we
own
do
house.
hair.
Camilla's pie shop or something.
Camilla's pies.
Yeah.
Like a
Pies.
baker.
Baker,
something.
yeah. Or like, like a butty shop or something.
Yeah, I see.
Do
her running-
wedding cake.
Yeah, I think I see
Something
Camilla.
like that. Could do-
Yeah,
Camilla's.
I see her running like a little sort of
Hey,
boutique
if
in
we
Cheshire.
keep going, we might meet them.
You never know.
I mean, I'd be surprised.
Can you imagine? Yeah. Please welcome to the podcast, King Charles. Do you reckon he'd ever do a podcast? Nah, probably
Not after me calling him sausage.
Bloody hell. He doesn't even have a mobile phone, apparently.
Really?
It wasn't us that started the sausage fingers. That was the Mirror or something, wasn't it?
Great shout.
So anyway, so what? How did that start? How did we get onto that?
Well, the coronation.
The
bank
coronation.
holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The summer, the bank holidays. Danny, tools. Let's have a look at the tools.
Yeah,
So what we got going on here?
that's what we got on. So
That was it, yeah.
Obviously, it was we've had a lot of bank holidays recently. What do people do at bank holidays? They piss around in the garden in the shed.
Yes, they do indeed.
Right.
They get the garden sorted,
Either
don't
they
they?
go on the piss or on a Friday night or Saturday night. And
yeah.
then by the time it gets to Sunday, you think, I'm going to sort my shed out or sort my garage out.
Yeah.
So I've been building a new shed. I've built my own shed
Love it.
from scratch.
Has it got electric in there?
It's got electric in there now.
Love it.
I've got put some decking in, put some lights in. I've built it. And, my wife's like, what about the rest of the house? Why have you built a shed?
Yeah, because it's the start. That's
the
where
start.
you store your
Store
tools.
stuff.
She's got to go.
Yeah.
Well, what I've been doing is I've been going through all my crap throughout the years,
Oh,
all my
yeah.
tools. And I thought, right,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
bring some to the podcast.
So what have you brought in?
So, first of all, I'm going to... this is something I still use quite a lot. This is Quick Grip.
Grips.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see some comments on this, what people like. So a lot of joiners are a bit like, I don't like using them. I bloody love them.
Yeah.
I think they're fantastic.
Useful for
the
everything and anything,
pressure
aren't
you
they?
can get on. This one's about what's that? About 400 or 500. So it's not that wide, but for clamping anything together,
So you can hold it still, basically, while you work on it.
Doors, anything like
Yeah.
that. Even little things. I saw someone the other week stack a load of doors in the van, And what it is, they clamp them all together.
Love it.
And then stack.
So it doesn't move around in the van.
Perfect.
Love it.
I think they're personally great. These Irwin ones in particular are fantastic.
I actually saw somebody the other day have a mastic gun.
Yeah.
And they cut the end of the mastic gun off.
Yeah.
And they bent the metal the other way. And then when they work around appliances, they put it down, press the trigger, and it lifts the appliance up while they work to say fit something under it or whatever. Great little TikTok, I think it was. What else have we got, Dan?
We've also got a core cut. A lot of our plumbing friends who I have a go at this season.
Yeah, you've chose to pick on plumbers this year.
It's my house, isn't it?
So last year you picked on site managers.
Well,
this
we're
year
friends now.
you're friends with site managers now.
It's plumbers because of the flood in my kitchen.
Yeah, you had a flood in your kitchen.
So this is a bit rusty, but I actually used it. I was putting a dryer in the house the other
So
week.
for Jack, tell Jack what that is. What does it do?
So what that is, Jack, fits in. That's an SDS bit. So fits in your SDS drill. You know when you've got like your toilet waste, like a soil pipe.
Yeah, it's
or
so
like ventilation,
fits
so
it
you're
in,
getting like your dryer heat or heat from your extractor fan from when you, like that will cut out a really nice clean cut right through the hole.
Yeah.
So it's just slightly bigger than the pipe. So the pipe years ago you used to have brickies
knock it out,
knock it out,
knock the brick out.
Around it.
Yeah.
Now you don't have to do that. That will drill it for you. Feel it, Jack. Feel it weighty.
Yeah. So you could basically rob a bank with that.
Yeah.
If you had a massive one.
Oh, actually,
you can.
The Hat and Garden.
Hat and
That's
Garden.
exactly what they used.
Yeah.
They drilled about 5 holes through the concrete, but obviously they were the bigger radius.
Well, these are like diamond tipped. So what you can get massive ones. So like heating engineers who might be watching, they have this one now where they like bolt it to the wall, hook it down. They don't even do it. They just press a button and it goes. And it massive drill. Like you know, you're talking. You got to think when they're doing the new. They're doing the new line, aren't they, through London Underground?
Oh yeah, what's it called?
It's basically a small version, one of these massive ones the size of this room.
Yeah,
like
the one that the Channel Tunnel.
Yeah. Basically that, but
yeah. Which, by the way, just on that, you know the Channel Tunnel when they did the drill for the Channel Tunnel.
Yeah.
They started at the French end, they started at the UK end, met in the middle.
Yeah.
And then do you know what they did with one of the drills?
What?
Sent it under and left it.
Did they?
And left it because they couldn't. There was no way they could only get one of the drills out. So as they met, the other one
it's buried under the.
It's buried.
channel.
It's buried under the channel. Yeah, probably like a £30 million drill. Just
I've never been on these.
No, I'm not myself actually.
No.
And then
ferry, but no.
Danny, what's this? The other one?
Now I bought this. I was doing a foreigner years ago. I don't know why I even said to do it. It was working on a. No, that's not true. I tell you when it was. It was when I got married. I'm Catholic, and instead of going to mass, I bribed the.
You're not
priest.
Catholic. When was the last time you went to church?
Well, weeks ago.
Weeks and months
I
ago.
bribed
Yeah.
the priest. I didn't bribe him. Shouldn't say that to a priest, but I basically said, "Oh, I'll revamp your doors instead of going to church every weekend."
I love it. And he went, "Yeah, you can get married in this church."
Straight away, typical priest. He went, "Totally,
Absolutely.
deal for a deal.
Repair the roof.
Did all the doors, stripped them all. I had to buy this, and I stripped all the old.
So what is it?
So it's a heat gun
Ah,
for stripping
paint. So you brought something in for the paint decorators.
Paint decorators. I have a go at them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's a trade, but
No, it is. It definitely is a trade.
But, and then finally, now
Is that? I didn't realise you brought something else in.
everyone loves this.
Oh, yeah.
This is a foam gun.
Oh, it's an amazing piece of kit.
Right. So this one, I actually bought.
Don't
broke me
don't
over.
squeeze
No,
it.
it's great.
Our producer would shout at
He'd
us.
probably kill me.
He'd probably shout, yeah, because we'd ruin the
All over
studio.
his canvas.
Can you imagine? Ah!
Foam everywhere.
So what is it, Dan? First of all, what is it?
Foam gun. So basically, this is for foam gun.
Kind of expanding foam.
Expanding foam. So any gaps you've got around windows, a lot. I use it a lot, or door frames.
Yeah.
Maybe in the backs of skirts.
Isn't it funny? Don't you think it's funny how, certainly in my lifetime, foam, as I've seen foam never been used, never even been invented, and then just almost take over.
Yeah.
And almost every tradesman now has a foam or foam gun for some type of element of the job.
It is brilliant. It's a quick fix. It's
filling holes, basically.
It's just
filling gaps.
It's great for if you buy a plastic window to fit a timber window frame, you wedge it up and everything. Fill the gaps, keeps it all nice and sealed in.
Yeah.
Like your energy companies love this.
Yeah,
because it seals all the gaps. In
there's all sorts of different types of foam as well now. I think there's
fire.
Isn't
foam,
there acoustic foam as well, or something
like that?
Isn't
fireproof foam. There's all sorts.
Basically, it's the modern day equivalent of shoving a newspaper in a hole.
Exactly
in a sense.
Exactly that.
I know it does more things with fitting the windows and whatnot. But
I've got basically this, and I'm not sure if I've told this on the podcast before, but a late friend of ours who unfortunately passed away told me probably one of the funniest stories
I've
ever said.
Yeah.
I've heard. He said he was on a site once, right?
Yeah.
And he was working with this labourer, and they asked this labourer to go round and fill all the holes in this gaps in this job. So at the top of this room, there was a hole, right? And he kept squirting it through. So him and Martin and his mate, they went for dinner and left this labourer. And he went, "No, got to get this hole filled." And he'd gone through like two of these. Yeah,
which is like, what are you doing? Yeah, there's a lot of foam in there. A lot of
foam in just that one, right? When they got back, he'd used about 3 boxes, which is about 18 tubs of this, right?
How much is that? How much is that worth?
God knows. It's about £8 a tube, right? And they were like, "What the fuck?"
What is he doing?
So they were like, I just have to leave it. So the next day, this was at like 3 o'clock. So they thought, "Fuck it, it's not working, leave it."
Yeah.
The next day, they all come in and they get to the site, and the site manager's like, "What the fuck have you lot done? Like, what have you done?" Right, so
what had he done?
So they go into the room and he's like, "We filled that hole there." And he went, "Yeah, do you know where that hole leads to?" So the flat above was a completely finished flat, all carpets down and everything, right? And when they walked in, the whole fucking flat had expanded
all into a room,
all into a hallway in a room. They couldn't open any of the doors.
Oh, that is amazing!
It was like,
is that true?
Yeah, it's a true.
Oh, that
story,
is amazing.
Right? And God rest him, Martin. I remember him telling me, and I was like, and he said, like, it was.
Did he have to go cut it all out the next day?
Cut it. No, the new carpets, everything.
Jesus.
Like, I think they got sacked, to be honest.
So what was the hole? What was?
It was just like a hole in the corner of the.
Yeah, fill that hole up.
They were like, fill it up and then put some board on it.
Yeah, but instead,
no, this labourer just kept squirting foam,
and it was going into another room. That is so good.
Going into another room. And it was all squirting. It all came out, and he said it was like a disaster scene.
Yeah, but it was like some sort of alien baby was being born.
He said it was that. He said, "Dan, it was like that eye."
Oh, that is amazing.
You know, have you ever seen foam? When they use it in TVs, don't they, to carve stuff?
Yeah.
It was like
it goes massive. It goes huge.
Just in comparison, 18 of these would easily fill this room.
So 18 of them would fill this studio. Right, next podcast episode. No, obviously not.
So,
might do it on a live.
Like one, if you squirted it on this table, it'd probably expand.
Yeah, it'd mound up to about here.
So
because obviously
it's not got a gap to just fit into it. Just keep going.
Just keep rising. Yeah.
So it just keeps finding it and just keeps expanding. Yeah. 18 tubes.
Oh, that's so cool.
In a flat.
And if anybody knows the guy that did that or girl, please get in touch because we'd love to have them on the show.
Yeah, still one of the.
That would be amazing. We're nearly at time, to be quite honest with you. Wow. Believe it or not. A couple of more bits and bats. So competition wise, we are going to offer. We've got some site safety pants, some reflective tops. So what we're going to do is, if you put a comment on our YouTube page. On the full podcast, if you make a comment on there, and it's a good comment and it makes us laugh, the competition is, if you can make us laugh, it's the best comment, we will send you out. We will pick a winner before next month's episode, and we'll send you out probably a pair of work pants, just grab them work pants, Jack, pair of knee pads, nice pair of work pants, free of charge. Actually, they were sent to us from Vault PPE, so we'll give them another shout out. They were the Vault ones, yeah. So we'll give them out as a bit of a competition.
Very nice.
Yeah, they're nice. They're all right. You know, the stretch as well. So if you're a bit tight in the old waist there,
I love a stretch.
Yeah, I do too. We've also got. We're going to go live on TikTok over the next month a couple of times. So look out for that. Tune into that.
Just on that.
Yeah.
You know. Obviously, improving my tech.
I know you're going to. So we talked about this briefly, but because you're not on the others, but you are on TikTok.
So
how often do you go on TikTok?
So I was looking at this the other day, and my cousin actually told me, I got a bit worried. And you can look at how long you've spent on an app.
Your screen time.
So on average, I spend 2 hours 30 minutes a day
On TikTok.
On TikTok.
Jesus,
That's
Dan.
a wait.
Just TikTok.
Jesus.
Just TikTok.
That's a day.
That's
Every day.
Every day.
2.5 hours a day on TikTok. What are you watching? Construction videos, obviously.
It's just all sorts.
I
of
was
shit.
genuinely amazed, right, at the amount of construction
There is a
stuff
lot,
that is on TikTok. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's
People
absolutely
into
brilliant.
it,
And I'm not necessarily giving TikTok a shout out. Well, I will do, obviously, but it's the stuff that's on there is fantastic.
Yeah.
Honestly, some of the content on there, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
So we've got the lives on TikTok. What else? You can get in touch with us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. We're trying to get our subscribers up on YouTube. So do us a favour, subscribe to us on YouTube if you can, if you're watching this show or listening.
If you are, how many subscribers have we got, Dave?
We've only got 570 subscribers on YouTube.
Right, 600 gets a hoodie.
The 600 subscriber.
Oh, when do we?
The only trouble with that is we can do that. Absolutely, we can do that.
Every 100 we give something.
Right, okay, I'll do that then. Every 100th subscriber, we'll do something. Fine, I'm up for that.
Yeah.
I'm up for that. So if you're the 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000 subscriber, we'll give something away on YouTube. So like, share, comment on our YouTube if you can to win the pants and the knee pads. We'll send them out. Anything else I've missed or forgotten about? I feel like there's something I've forgotten.
Was it first pay slips? Was that what we were going to talk about?
Was it? We did mention that. So we'll tell you what. We'll just wrap up then on that. So yeah, it was. The question was, when you first started in work, and I'll ask you two, what was your first purchase with your first week or full month's pay? Dan, do you remember? I'm pretty sure I know what it was. Wasn't it the Stanley knife?
It was.
Just tell the story quickly.
It was a Stanley knife. I bought it from B&Q. If you know this area, by the time I'd got round the roundabout, I'd cut my phone when I was on the way.
So you bought it from B&Q and cut your finger within less than 5 minutes?
Yeah. Do you know what? Just on this though, I don't think it was my first paycheck, but my first Christmas bonus. I bought a DVD, a double. Do you remember the double DVD players
For pirating and
DVD
stuff.
and video.
DVD, video. Sorry.
Videotape and DVD.
Oh, revolutionary!
And I bought Heat.
What a film!
What
a film!
My favourite film.
What a great film!
Because they always said that, and my brother at the time, who I shared a room with, he had these massive speakers, and he was away in Ibiza or somewhere working. I can't remember.
Malio, I think he was.
Malio.
Yeah.
And I just watched Heat about 50 times.
And actually on Heat, there's a lot of construction on Heat because they use drills and core drills to break into banks and stuff. So brilliant.
Yeah.
Jack, what was your first ever purchase?
My first big purchase, because I was doing my apprenticeship at the time, and I think I was on 12,000 a year, which is like in much, but obviously it's below like a tax.
Yeah. So
most
12.
tax things.
You don't
So
pay
really
tax in the UK until you earn above 12k.
It was roughly like 1,000.
A month.
Roughly. Yeah. Which when you just turned 18 years old,
Yeah.
it's like more money.
I'm loaded. I'm loaded.
Yeah. This is never going to run out.
Yeah.
And I think I got paid on the Friday, and the Saturday morning, I went to the Trafford Centre with my mate, and I bought an iPad cash.
Which nobody does.
Yeah, and instead of because the thing is, I thought, I'll be dead grown up. I'll get it on like a contract, and I'll be like dead grown up. I'll pay a monthly thing.
Yeah.
But you have no credit history.
Yeah.
You've got no credit. I've just started working. I've got no any line of credit.
So you bought an iPad cash.
So I bought an iPad.
Obviously a brand new iPad.
A brand new one. Yeah.
Wow.
400 quid or whatever.
Wow.
It was,
I love it.
Within 12 hours of having that money in my account.
I can actually remember my first ever purchase, and it was a VHS video from my bedroom. I was 16, and I was on £41.55 a week at 16. So are you talking? That's 30 years ago now. Yeah. So that was okay. It was all right. That's what it was at the time. And I bought this video, and I had it in my bedroom, and it was like the coolest thing in the world.
What was the first video you watched?
Oh, I don't know what the first video I watched. I'm not quite sure on that. I genuinely don't know. But I do remember my dad because I work for my dad. And I do remember my dad one night getting wound up because it was like 2 a.m. and I was still watching a video, and he sort of burst in the room. For God's sakes, we've got work in the morning. Turn this off, this nonsense. And sort of went on a bit of a rant about how the fact that even though I'd bought it with my wages, he was sort of saying it was his. He was like, it's mine anyway. I own that. It's mine. Turn it off, because it's obviously a bit of a row. So, so me and you bought very similar things with our first purchase, DVD and a video. But that's the difference in age, I suppose.
Electronics.
All electronics.
Oh, yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, DVD, video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've come to our time, guys.
Nice.
So Jack, just want to say thank you for very much for
Thank
coming
you very
on
much
board.
for having me on. Yeah.
Enjoy Brazil.
Enjoy Brazil. Would love to have you back one day, maybe even later on in this season or maybe next season.
Yeah,
Come on,
yeah.
and kind of. Will you bring us something back from Brazil for the table?
Yes.
Yeah, some time.
Yeah, I'll have to find something.
Yeah.
Fit it in somewhere and see if anyone can spot it.
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll do that. So bring us back something for the table. Danny?
Buy a bigger Christ the Redeemer.
Yeah, a better one.
Yeah, a bigger and better one. Yeah, that would be good, actually.
Sam
Yeah.
I'll bring the Christ the Redeemer back.
Yeah, we'd end up being like the Christ Redeemer podcast.
I'll take the toe off of it.
Yeah. Make sure you take the hat, get some pictures. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching. We really appreciate all our fans. Keep following, keep sharing, keep liking. We'll see you next month. And by the way, just before we do go there quickly, it's open to you next month. You're going to let us know. Watch out for all our socials. You're going to let us know what we're going to be talking about next month. We'll put a vote thing up there, and whoever votes for the most popular one, we'll talk about that. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.